All right, let's talk about PHP version and configuration. So again, I'm on the Service tab. Again, we're going to Settings and Packages, and let's give this a second to warm up. So there's a couple of settings we want to change here. So on this first screen here, it has the PHP memory limit, and it's set pretty low. If you hover over here, it's the maximum memory. And we don't want to leave that at 256 megabytes. So that is too low for most websites that are even like a medium-sized website or have half a dozen plugins installed. So we want to change that to 1 gigabyte. So let's just go 1024. So it's 1 gigabyte. It's probably going to tell me I don't have enough memory. There we go. Fine to ignore that. Basically, this will avoid a scenario where the site throws up errors because it runs out of memory, and you don't want to give it too much memory. So you want to keep a cap on it. So 1 gigabyte's a good balance. It's not too much. It's not too small. 256 is way too small. So we want to hit Save Changes, which will take a second or two to change. And that is a site-wide setting. So that's changing it for all sites on the server. So just keep that in mind. Also keep in mind it will increase the memory usage, although if it does increase the memory usage, then some of your existing users may have been getting errors intermittently. So depending on what they're doing on the site, if you have a WooCommerce site, for example, guaranteed that a user session that's checking out or doing something with the cart or checkout needs more than 256 meg of RAM, and you're probably going to get some proportion of users that were getting memory errors or PHP errors. And if we go back to our previous video, when the server starts running out of memory, it'll start using swap space. So if we have the swap space configured appropriately with that 4 gig swap file, then we shouldn't really have an issue. It should start to use swap space if it's running out of memory. Okay, so that's done. We go across here to packages. And again, so PHP version is here. And if you click on this, you can upgrade to version 8, 8.1, 8.2. Basically, with PHP, every higher version is going to be faster and have better memory management than the version before it. So if you're running PHP 5.6, which is really old, moving to PHP 7 is going to be a huge performance gain. Moving from PHP 7.4 to 8 or 8.1 is a lot faster. Will show big gains again. So particularly if you're running a WooCommerce site or a membership site or something like that, these can be big steps up in performance. Just keep in mind that not every plugin is compatible with the highest version 8.2 there that's available on this server. So you need to be mindful that if you go all out and change it to 8.2 and some of your plugins are old, out of date, or don't support that version of PHP, then you're going to run into errors. Right now, so this is May 2023. 8.0 is pretty much compatible with all up-to-date plugins. It's been around for a while. It's fairly stable. So you should be able to change to 8.0 without much hassle. If you have no sites on the server, it's a really easy way to just change it to get started in advance. Typically, what we'll do if we're making this change is use the plugin Query Monitor, or install the plugin Query Monitor on the WordPress sites on the server, and just poke around the back end and front end after the change, and it will flag any PHP errors that are showing. And quite often, it's just a simple case of upgrading a plugin or theme file or whatever it is to the latest version to bring it up to compatibility with the latest PHP version or the version you want to use. It's also worth, if you have a big site, then you might want to manually check all the plugins and your theme to make sure that they are compatible with whatever PHP version you are changing to. You should be able to go and search in the changelog. And if you just search whatever it is, like if you're using GeneratePress, for example, as a theme, if you just go to Google and search GeneratePress changelog, I'll do it here. So if we just go GeneratePress changelog, if I can type changelog like this, you should find the changelog. There you go, changelog archives. It should give us the changelog and tell us what's going on there. So if you search in here for PHP, so there you go. So PHP 8.1 compatibility. So they fixed an issue in this version of the theme to fix 8.1 compatibility. So that means that it should be version 8.1 compatible, PHP 8.1 compatible. It's probably not 8.2 compatible. So if you just do that, if you really have a big site or you're well monetized, checking each of your plugins and your theme for PHP compatibility, that's generally an easy way to do it. If you're not sure, log a support ticket with the provider. But making the change is pretty simple. Just hit that and hit the save button, and it'll take a second. That's fine. It gives me a warning. It'll take us, it might take 60 seconds to do it. If you need to change back, it's the same process. So if you start running into issues or the site starts throwing errors, it's a simple process to wind it back. Just keep in mind, if you have a really old CloudWays server, if you've had a server that's around for a while, it won't let you downgrade back to really old versions of PHP. So we actually have a server that's running some old customer websites on PHP 5.6. If we upgraded that to 7.4, we wouldn't be able to roll it back to 5.6. So just keep that in mind. That's the lowest you can go right now, so you won't be able to roll it back further. But that's it. That's a pretty straightforward process. I'll let that go anyway. That's the PHP upgrade.